Not many people know this, but Lithuania is actually quite good alternative to Poland. Not only it has its own unique mission tree, which is the only mission tree in the whole game which lets you PU Russia, but also after you form Commonwealth, you will get Polish mission tree. In this video, I'll show you how to play as Lithuania. As usual, let's start with privileges. So you want to grant 2 privileges to Kazakhs, establish Kazakh regiments, and exempt from bureaucracy. Now you want to summon the Diet, important, choose the proposal of the Kazakhs, and click this decision. Permit self-governance. And now you can finish this mission and get claims on Crimea. The drawback of this strategy is that you won't be able to grant 1 mana privilege from the start, but you will be able to grant it later, and I think having an ability to declare on Crimea immediately is a lot better. There is a chance they won't find any strong allies and you can easily conquer it, without any headache. Anyway, let's grant some other privileges. Grant mana privileges to clergy and Szlachta. Also grant religious diplomats and clerical education. Ignore burghers' mana privilege right now, instead grant just burgher loans. Focus on military, your ruler military skill is just awful, and choose rivals. Doesn't really matter what you choose whatever you like here. And now let's talk about allies. So you need to ally rival of Poland, usually it's either Hungary or Bohemia. Here I can ally Bohemia. And you can ally either England, France, Burgundy or Austria. Burgundy would be the best just because of inheritance. Okay, let's also seize land. Okay, 11 December, right click on Crimea and check out their allies. Usually they will find someone, usually they will. But well, if they don't, you can declare. And I think it's good to have claims earlier than later, just so you have more opportunities to conquer Crimea. It's better to conquer Crimea as soon as possible, because our dear friends Ottomans can make it either its tributary or its vassal, which is even worse. So Sweden asks us to support independence. I recommend to refuse. It might ask like this, it might ask through event, but just refuse. It's not worth it. Okay, so I will carry favors with Bohemia and improve relations with Burgundy. Also quite good, not alliance, but I might say kinda strat, is to royal marry Emirati right from the start. Why is it good? Because King of Emirati starts very old, and he can die any day. By royal marrying Emirati, 90% chance you will get a PU on it, and you'll be able to expand into Caucasia. Anyway, I also recommend to lower autonomy everywhere. Why to lower autonomy? Well, first it will help you with income, and second you need less than 10 average autonomy for this mission. Now just lower your maintenance and wait. And here it is, restoration of old ties. This event lets Poland PU Lithuania. Choose the second option. Poland will get very good rulers, so be extremely careful because they might get better military than you quite quickly. Technically I can already try to PU Poland right now. I have enough of men, but quite important, Poland can get Moldavia for free. And for this, if I'm not mistaken, it can't be your PU. It needs to be dependent, so you might want to wait for a little. I was talking about this event. Okay, then we can declare, and I don't see a reason why not. And usually, and I mean almost always, Poland allies some small German nations. The biggest nation it can ally is Brandenburg, so usually you shouldn't have any problems. So because of Cossacks, you most likely will have superior cavalry. You have tons of cavalry, just tons of them, and you can easily try to win, easily. First you might of course want to hire free company. So after hire free company you will be able to get this mission, get subjugation CB on Poland, well not subjugation but restoration of union, and subjugation on Livonia. You may ignore Livonia for now, you have truce, but you can declare on Poland. It should be quite easy. If you want to, you can call in Bohemia or Hungary, it would make the war just trivial. To win against Poland you might want to consider granting a few more privileges. Recruit Kazakh leaders and Szlachta of the rights. Well, just be mindful of influence. If you have too much influence, first you will have very small amount of crown land, and second, the estates might rebel. Anyway, be ready that Poland most likely will have good general and hire one general. You need general with good amount of shock. That's important. If you're not sure, you can just save scam or maybe call in your allies, but generally it should be easy to win against Poland. First focus on killing Polish people and only then try to siege. Apparently maybe I'm not stack wiping every single stack, but still I incur a lot of losses, and that's important. Lithuania doesn't start with a lot of manpower, but neither does Poland. They already have significantly less troops than me, and you don't need 100 war score, don't worry. Basically you need to take Krakow and just win some battles and you should be good to go. Bohemia still declared war. Well, usually it shouldn't happen. Well, at least in my previous rise it didn't. Well, to be safe you may always call in Bohemia. into war. If such thing happens, try to siege down their capital, ASAP. And by the way, try to siege down with your company, not with your main army. You may send some of your own troops, but try not to. Basically, to win this war without having much manpower, you need to be mindful of your environment. You need to snipe smaller stacks and try not to engage with big amount of troops. Okay, I will wait peace. Stettin, let's do it. Okay, I've sieged Krakow and Warsaw, and there is no need to continue the war. We can peace out. Well, here we go, I've carpet sieged a little and we can peace out. Most likely there will be no collision. The maximum amount I've seen here is like 4 nations. And if you see here 4 nations in this window, wait for 31st December and peace out then. And no problems. So click Union with Poland and peace out. In this run, Bohemia declared on Poland, and it's my first time actually seeing this. Anyway, not a big deal. If you don't want to take a risk, just call in Bohemia against Poland, maybe give it some land, maybe not, depends if you want to keep Bohemia as ally. Also, if you call in Bohemia, it will be easier to win. You won't spend as much manpower, but like I said, it's up to you. So Poland is unloyal, how to make it loyal? First, click this mission and choose some good province, cheap province, and develop it a little. No need to spend a lot of mana, but you need to bring it down at least to 49 or less. You will be very poor, believe me, so you won't be able to support loyalists and stuff. I will just, I think, either write Peace Bohemia or maybe something else. It's not really typical, so I will just pretend it didn't happen. What I will do is I will ask Poland to support me, supportive attitude, and allow attach on this stack. It should attach to this stack. Manpower doesn't grow on trees, so I will peace out right now, just like peace. I don't know what's wrong with AI in this game. Believe me, it's usually a lot less aggressive. I don't know what's going on here. Is it because they've got force tech? No. No, they don't have force tech. I do not understand what's going on. And they killed my rebels for some reason. And that's why Royal Marine Emirati may be good. Maybe a good idea. Free personal union. And I don't understand why did Teutonic Order declare me. AI usually declares only when it has like 2.5 times more troops. Here it has like 3 times less troops, something is very fishy. And now Teutonic Order doesn't have any army. I do not understand what's going on, I do not, believe me. Well, that might be good, because now we can declare on Livonian Order with Subjugation CB and we would need to do it anyway. Okay, that is quite unusual game. Anyway, from Teutonic Order just take some money, maybe war reparations, and if you're not afraid of coalitions or aggressive expansion, take 1 or 2 coastal provinces, just so you can conquer Riga in the future. To be honest, the war is going for too long, that's why we are bleeding some money. And also, by the way, quite important, don't make Riga co-belligerent. Well, the situation right now is relatively stable, so I will do what I wanted to do since I peaced out Poland. So, after you peace out Poland, preferably as soon as possible, you need to delete cavalry. You need to delete some cavalry because it's too expensive. You should have had this for Poland just to make your life easier to be able to win against Poland, but right now it's not really necessary, and your long-term income is more important. Also, after Poland you should ally some nations, so no one like Muscovy doesn't declare on you. I will roll Mary Burgundy just for this. And also, by the way, I think I should tell you about one very important thing. It also works for war against Poland. You should check your cavalry to infantry ratio, it's here, and you shouldn't go over it. So if you have too much of cavalry, just detach it, remove it, or maybe just leave it in some province, but don't fight with too many cavalry. Also quite important, improve relations with Poland. If your ruler dies and you have negative relations, Poland will stop being your personal union. So you want to vassalize Livonia and conquer Riga. So why do you want to conquer Riga and not to make a co-belligerent? Well, first, it almost always has a lot of allies and it's just not worth conquering it. And you want to conquer it no matter what, just because it can join the HRE. So Livonia is unloyal, you can just placate, develop, do whatever you want. I will placate once. Perfect. And we need to declare on Novgorod. That depends on RNG. We are very lucky that it's Novgorod, that it's not Muscovy. Believe me, Muscovy also can declare. Also Denmark can declare, but still, you will need to reconquer provinces if someone has conquered them. You need to own all provinces in Livonia for this mission, all of them. So I will declare rival or conquest, although I think I should have first allied Burgundy, but that's not a big deal. This war won't last for long. Well, like I said, it was quick. You can also take Luki. If you can declare Novgorod, you might want to, of course, conquer some provinces from it, but be careful. You might want to do it, of course, but not to protect from Muscovy, but from Denmark, to build a wall like this. But you don't have to conquer Novgorod area right now. You don't have to, because believe me, it's a lot easier to just let Muscovy former Russia, then it will get Russian missions or Russian ideas and it will colonize Siberia for you. I think it's a lot better. Well, anyway, after you conquer whole Livonia, you can finish this mission, get some claims, important. In Teutonic Order you can conquer it later. Also, you need to be mindful that Teutonic Order can join HRE. It doesn't always happen, but it can happen. So be careful. Preferably after the war with Poland, you should first build some forts. We can leave some forts here to protect from Russia. Then you need to lower your maintenance, maybe multiple forts, although keep in mind it will kill your army tradition, but it's possible. Maybe it's a good idea. Just try to pay off your loans. Just chill for a little until you have some manpower. But of course, keep in mind Crimea and Livonia. If you see you can easily declare on Livonia or Crimea, do it. Anyway, now I will ally Burgundy for possibility of Burgundian Inheritance. Also, by the way, don't forget about Emirati. Because if you have Emirati, you can either declare on Circassia or maybe even Georgia. Okay, I think let's expand in Caucasus just a little. Oh, that's why Royal Marine and align Burgundy is good. If it chooses another option, you may save scum, you may leave it be, but usually Burgundy becomes your PU. So now there will be an imperial instead, the Burgundian Inheritance, here it is. And most likely Austria will declare on us. Is it bad? No, of course it's not bad. It's actually even quite good, in some sense. I'm going to just white peace represent, I think. If I try to conquer it, I most likely will severely anger Ottomans. So it seems their reality is even better. Austria is not the emperor. Well, why is this good? Why when emperor declares on you is good? You might wonder. Well, the answer is quite simple. It's because if you got this event in better time, when you're at peace, not at war, you can ally electors, occupy the capital of the emperor, and then dismantle HRE. If you do it, there will be a lot less aggressive expansion when you declare. And also emperor won't support the HRE. So first idea group. As first idea group you can actually take influence. Believe me, you will have a lot of subjects. A lot of them. Also, by the way, when you have 2 or more subjects, grant some duchies. It's very good. I might want to revoke some privileges later. The more influence states have, the less crowned you will have. Well, I can't really dismantle HRE, so I will just peace out Palatinate, I guess. Okay, I will feed Georgia to Emirati. Remember that you're Grand Duchy, but you're still Duchy. You will have problems with carrying capacity. Okay, I think I can try to ally Austria. It's very good ally, precisely because of Ottomans. I also see a great opportunity to conquer Circassia. Remember to always constantly check your neighbors, because the situation is constantly changing. Maybe they have good allies one day, next day these kind of things happen. Well, let's also declare on Teutonic Order, why not? Seems like an easy target. Even if you haven't completed this mission, remember that Poland also has some claims and some mission tree. Good thing I remembered. Good thing I remembered. Yes, you need to keep an eye on a lot of nations. Anyway, I think Wallachia is our priority. Well, and here we go. Just a Royal Marine Emirati has had this effect. And I think let's declare on Teutonic Order. As first ability, take justified wars. Don't worry about conquering Orthodox nations, no one cares about them. When you try to conquer Teutonic Order, you might notice this. Basically just improve relations with nations that can join the coalition. So here I need to improve relations with Volgast and Saxony. I did improve relations, but still some nations can join. Ignore Stettin and Mecklenburg, you will have truce and Teutonic Order. So only 3 nations, coalition can't form. And by the way, I should have mentioned it, but I didn't. Try not to feed Teutonic Order to Poland. Conquer it yourself. It is quite important. It is quite important. Because of this requirement to form Commonwealth. Poland needs to have less than 40 cities. If you feed it too much, believe me, you won't form Commonwealth. You would need to integrate Poland manually. You can't take provinces from your PU, it's impossible. Also, don't forget to start annexing Livonian Order when you can. Also, by the way, if you want to annex Livonia more quickly, you have a few options. The first option is take this papal interaction, if you have papal influence, and also you can grant one more privilege, Szlachta integration policy. I won't right now because Szlachta has too much of power, but keep in mind the privilege increases liberty desire, so I would recommend to be careful with this. Well, I've got not really good heir, so I will disinherit and 50 prestige, but well, if you see bad heirs or something like this, you can disinherit, abdicate, whatever. Remember that mana generation is above all. Right before you annex Livonia, you can grant nobility integration policy, here it is, just so you don't lose any too much reputation. Here it is, Livonia is annexed. Okay, and now that's quite important. As strategy group, take decentralized bureaucracy. You need it for this mission, enforce a commonwealth. Also, don't forget to always seize land as soon as possible and reduce autonomy in your provinces. Also, by the way, about pretender rebels. If pretender rebels win in your PU, it breaks your personal union, so you need to kill these rebels. So, Mamluks allied Crimea. This game is certainly weird. It certainly is. By the way, it seems I can try to declare on Ottomans. There is a certain chance of winning. Interesting proposal. Well, might be good idea. So it's actually quite difficult to know when you're ready to deal with Ottomans, because they have very quality armies, so you need truly big advantage to win. It's at war, it also won't be supported by its allies, and, well, my allies have appropriate mill tech, let's say, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Why declare on Ottomans? Answer is simple, to break them up. The usual point is a lot more better to break Ottomans up, just because it's a lot easier to get a lot of strength early, but Lithuania also good for this. You just need to ally Austrian and preferably one more Ottoman's rival. Okay, let's say I've seen the future, and in the future, France would enforce speed. So it's better to start right. I don't know what's going on with the AI in this game, but believe me, usually it's not that aggressive. Usually it's not. So what do you want to take from Ottomans? From Ottomans, you want to take one Bulgarian province and one Greek province, at minimum. And take war reparations. Why war reparations? Why not some money? The answer is simple, it's because you won't get full sum. You will share it with your allies. You need to take one Bulgarian and Greek province to release some vessels. Bulgaria and Byzantium. I think I can do it even now. Let's do it. Next war with Ottomans, we can reconquer. Reconquer is a lot more cheap and grants you a lot less aggressive expansion. Okay, we can conquer Teutonic Order, let's do it. I recommend to promote two cultures whenever you can. Not only for your missions, but also for some income. As secondary group, I would recommend to take aristocratic. They're quite good for Lithuania. After all, Lithuania is cavalry nation. But you can also take offensive ideas. They're also quite good. By the way, always take money from your war enemies, it will keep your economy afloat, and maybe even prospering. Okay, let's peace out Teutonic Order, and now Teutonic Order is no more. Okay, I think I should be at peace for a while, so I can inherit Burgundy. Inheriting Burgundy is not necessary, but I found that it's the easiest way to complete this mission. It's the easiest one. Well, here it is, finally. I was already thinking it wouldn't happen, but it did happen. So, I found this method of completing our mission tree, the most reliable. Let me explain. To finish this mission, we need to have 520 development. The problem is that from Teutonic Order and politics you get around, I think, 150, maybe around 200. It's not enough. In theory, if you conquer Crimea and Great Horde, you might get enough of development, but that's quite random, as you've seen. Most likely it will be possible to conquer Crimea at any time, but if it's not, it's also possible to declare on Moscow and take provinces that are not required to form Russia. There is a map on the wiki, here it is. So if you take these provinces, you will get some development, some provinces in Novgorod, and you will be able to get out of money. The next problem is money. As you might know, Lithuania has quite bad economy. Quite bad is an understatement. So what I've done is I've developed Gdansk, Königsberg, and some other centers of trade in politics, specifically centers of trade, to increase my income just a little bit. I've also built some buildings, marketplaces and stuff, though it's still not enough. Why did I develop these provinces? It's because they have extremely good market good, gems, and developing centers of trade nets you more trade power in the node, so it's good. So right now, if I try to collect in English channel, I guess, it should be a lot easier to get required income. Also, the problem is current capacity. Grand Duchy is still a duchy, no matter how you spin it. Although it seems it should be enough just to state Burgundian provinces. Well, if you state Burgundian provinces, you won't have any free current capacity. It's not bad if you're not declaring wars, but if you do declare wars, it would be very, very bad. Anyway, let's develop once or twice. Yes, 50 income, here it is. Enforce a commonwealth. Well, I found the easiest path is with Burgundy, but there are many, of course. So now we are not Grand Duchy, but Grand Kingdom. It's already better. We have more current capacity. Okay, and I might ask what now? And now ideally we should wait until Moscow forms Russia, and only then finish the mission, this one, ideally. Well, anyway, right now I think it's a good idea to declare on Ottomans. I think it's just a wonderful idea. Declare with Reconquest and take Constantinople. It's the most expensive province here. I think I will also start on the era. Life is pain. Anyway, okay? Well, if it wasn't a guide I would accept, but believe me, fighting against both Ottomans and France, if you're not established player, is very bad idea. Well, it seems my attempts to do something useful are not successful, so I will just speed 5 and wait. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just very boring. So I think I will finish our mission tree right now. Just remember that it's better to do it when Moscow forms Russia. Usually it allies Denmark and maybe Sweden, maybe. If you're particularly unlucky, it can try to ally Austria, but the chance is quite low. Literally first time seeing it allied Bohemia, but everything can happen. Moscow itself should be very easy to beat, it doesn't have many troops, you should have more, and Moscow is always, and I mean always, lacking in mill tech, so you shouldn't have any tech problems. Okay, let's start Moscow, you don't need much war score, just conquer Novgorod area. Anyway, don't click it right now, click it when your truce with Moscow ends. So in 9 years. Well, here it is, truce with Moscow has ended, now we can finish this mission. So once again, it's better to let Moscow form Russia after you PU it, it won't be able to do it. But well, we have what we have. Well, here it is, we can make union with Moscow. To be honest, there really isn't that much of difference between Moscow and Russia. The only one is that Moscow can't colonize Siberia. Anyway, after you PU Russia, you can finish this mission. It will help you with Liberty Desire. So, with Moscow you have to improve relations, and pray that your ruler doesn't die. You may need even to save scum, it will take some time. Also, of course, you can develop it and other stuff, but don't let it be unloyal for too long. Other countries can support its independence. Well, here it is, now it's loyal, and it's very good. By the way, we can finish this mission finally, been waiting for it. And technically I can already try to form Commonwealth, well not right now, but in a few months. But before you form Commonwealth, be sure to finish everything you want here. Let's step up once, you need 3 stability to form Commonwealth. But first I want to tell you about this mission, it's very interesting. Shame I couldn't conquer Crimea. Basically it lets you get tribes. New estate, tribes, yes. Well, tribes are cool not only because having tribes as Christian nation is very cool, but also because they have manpower privilege, I quite like it. And also there are some less unique bonuses, but still the mission is quite cool. When starting the group you might want to take diplomatic maybe, or espionage. Both of these ideas are good to manage aggressive expansion. Okay, now let's form Commonwealth. Choose new ideas, they're just awesome for Lithuania. Lithuania gets different ideas from Poland. And yes, you do get Polish mission tree. So Poland has one of the strongest missions in the entire game, and you also get second mission tree, Lithuanian one, which is also quite strong. Now just follow Polish mission tree. Try to reconquer a land from Ottomans. You can dismantle HRA during League Wars, it's also good. As for trade nodes, you can either use Novgorod trade node, but first you need to integrate Moscow or Russia, or you can put your trade capital in Baltic Sea, but for this you will need to conquer some part of Lubeck, so the trade doesn't flow out. English Channel is also obviously a very good trade node, but it's a lot more difficult to attain. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.